Hello everybody and welcome back to SkySaga Alpha 7 for the very, very last time. And it is such a shame to say that because, as you can see in the background behind me, we are nowhere near close on finishing this build. Now, there is kind of a part of me that really wants to just stop on this build, but at the same time, there is a part of me that loves this build so much. And I want to keep it alive, and I want to keep it going right up until the very, very end. And we're also probably going to be in Boomkin's stream and chatting about this build as well. So obviously this is a little earlier in the week for me. That stream may already be up, and if it has gone up, and if I was in it, there will be a link down below to where the stream is saved for now, and then eventually when that gets put on YouTube, I'll also post a link down below to the YouTube thing. Yeah, but I just want to kind of, point that out because hopefully that happens and hopefully we kind of go through here with Boomkin and talk a little bit about the build and how I think it's going and what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and all that kind of stuff. Now, as I said, this place is actually nearing the end, so Alpha 7 is almost over, and this island didn't get picked. It didn't get picked for voting for being saved for the next Alpha, which means it is gone. And it's going to be gone at the end of this episode. So I can kind of understand a couple of people going, oh, well, why are you still working on it? But personally, I love this build, and I can't leave it like this. And I also love this type of building as well. Like, a lot of this stuff, I know we're in alpha, so a lot of this stuff I'm building to try things out and to try out ideas. And now I know that this station works, and I know that I can build modern-style builds with the SkySaga decor, which is really, really cool, because that means when we hit beta and there are no more wipes or there are, fewer wipes coming, I can actually sit down and do this idea, because this idea, this Metropolis idea, has been floating around in the back of my head for a very, very long time. And I think basically since Alpha 3, not that I was recording back in Alpha 3, but it's been in my head for a long time. It's just I've never had the tools or the time available to build it. And now I've got the tools, I just don't have the time because the wipes keep happening and keep destroying things. But this little station that we've managed to build here, that you guys have kind of followed along and helped me out a bit with, is, for me, a really good indication of what is possible. And it means that I know that when the beta happens, I can rebuild this station, probably put a few twists and changes into it, because there will be some changes in the game by the time we get to beta, and I'll be able to get a really modern looking build out of the stuff that we have in SkySaga. And to me, that is the best thing about this, and it's the best reason for continuing to push myself and challenge myself and do newer and bigger builds in alphas that I know are going to be wiped. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to stop kind of ranting on about this stuff. We're going to have a quick turn around and have a look at this build. So as you can see, there has been a little bit of work done here. We've got these kind of little crab claw pincer-like things coming out the front here. So these are literally just kind of little tunnels that guide you on through into here. Still haven't put any lighting in above these guys yet. That is something I need to do, as I said before. There's also lighting that needs to go down at the bottom here, but right now I'm pretty happy with just kind of leaving this place in under here alone. Because while it is going to be the spawn point, and we are going to be talking about it a little bit in the stream, I'm kind of, conceptually, I'm done with that. Like, I'm not going to be adding anything new to the concept. Like, I'm not going to be using decor in new wonderful ways. I'm just going to be lighting a few bits and pieces up. So, right now, like, my resources are still kind of scarce, just because I've been building lots and lots and lots, which means that I don't have as many resources as I could have. I've got a lot of stuff crafting up down here, and so I'd prefer to put those resources into continuing the build rather than kind of stylizing and just slightly improving a section of the build that is already down and already done. So speaking of continuing the build, up in here we've added some lighting down. So I mentioned last time that the ceiling is too high and we don't actually get any light thrown to the floor from the ceiling height. So we've now got a couple of fluorescents going in the top here. So there's a couple of chains down here that are hopefully done by now. Yep, there we go. We can pick those up and put those in while I'm talking to you guys. So yeah, this is going pretty well. I'm pretty happy with this stuff. Like I said last time, I still need to do a bit of work in there. Do need to do a little bit of work in over there as well. But those, once again, those are kind of detaily things. So I'm probably going to end up uh, maybe even not doing those, which would be a little bit sad. But like I said before, I really want to get on and add a few other little bits and pieces to this. So hopefully today's episode and the final episode on this island, we're actually going to finally make it up to the surface. We're going to put a roadway down. We're maybe even going to put a building down. I have a whole load of iron blocks. Now, I've got a load of iron blocks because there was a couple of plans for the iron blocks. Those plans are now kind of being shunted out the window a little bit because the alpha is almost over. But I think I've got something new that I can do with those, and it's kind of going to be using a little bit of the cyan sand and a few other bits and pieces. I need to go out and find some more materials, potentially. That's not going to be enough sand for what I'm planning on doing. But I kind of probably should stop talking about this a little bit. We'll kind of leave that as a little bit of a surprise. We'll also have to see how much we actually get done in this episode as well. Okay, so we are making our way up to the surface. We have Toffee Spark and World with us right now. I've just been chatting about a few bits and pieces. But yeah, so I've made my way up to the top of here. So this goes all the way down and all the way along to the roof. So this, of course, is a little bit that I was talking about last episode, where it kind of goes along to here, and then there's going to be another pathway up on the other side, and there's going to be a road about 3 or 4 blocks high from where my head is right now. Oh, as in, like, from, I guess, from this ground plane, actually, because I don't really want to go too much higher than that. It's basically just going to be as high as it needs to be. And now this here is my stairs and escalator design. I've realized I don't actually have the things that I needed. I don't have the metal steps, so for now we're going to throw in the grey steps. If I had longer to build this build, I would come back here and I would put in the metal steps, but that's not going to happen, so we're just going to keep pushing on forwards and finish off these guys. So this is actually a pretty simple process. It's just literally going up like this and up like this. Now, one thing I have done here as well is I've actually put in a little bit of extra detail down the bottom. So I've got this nice kind of like rounded cornice piece down here, which I think makes it look a little bit more like the actual end of a handrail. And I've also kind of inset the steps a little bit. So yeah, personally, I just think that those couple of extra features have made this look just that little bit more like what it's actually supposed to be. So anyway, that's kind of a little bit of rambling about some stairs and things that were going on down in here, but we're also getting pretty close to getting upstairs and up to the quote-unquote surface level of this build, because I guess realistically right now that black stuff down there is the surface level to this build. But I actually do really want to put an office building in today, and yeah, we're going to put a lot of stuff down. Also, wow, Toffee Spark has got a big build planned coming up, so it's going to be interesting to see that. I might even jump over and talk to Toffee Spark in Alpha 8 and actually do a bit of a tour of his build, because I really do enjoy doing that. I really love going and having a look at other people's stuff and talking to them about their builds and all of that, because I feel like that's where the real interesting thing about builds is when you're actually talking to somebody. Like, you're talking to the person who created the build, and you're listening to all of their ideas and inspirations behind it. To me, that's really, really cool. And that's kind of, like I said, it's one of the reasons I really am quite excited for the stream. I'm going to keep talking to Toffee Spark, keep adding this stuff down. I'll kind of, yeah, put this little corridor in place, and we'll start work on the top layer. So, the escalator is now complete. Huge thank you to Rokata, who came over and supplied all of the iron steps for me. He didn't even take materials off my hands, he just went through and built them. I kind of, yeah, made a quick thing saying, hey, look, I need some stuff, and he came along and helped out, and that was absolutely amazing. Thanks again, Rokata, that is awesome. And yeah, now this thing is looking pretty damn good. Check this out, that really does look a little bit like an escalator. Now, the only thing is, at the top here, these kind of like spike up and then roll back around, but I'm actually thinking that's not a bad thing. Like, escalators actually kind of do that. They kind of like round themselves up before coming all the way back down again. So, thinking that is actually pretty good, and that is the way I'm going to leave that for now. So the only thing that is slightly worrying me is that this platform is currently 4 wide, but you've only really got these 2 wide to walk down, and I don't really like that too much. So I think we're going to lay down an extra layer of stone here, and we're going to have this pathway be 3 wide, and I'm just going to ignore the fact that I've kind of got extra stone down, and I'm just going to build it out to 3 wide. Then we're going to have our roadway, so I'm probably going to end up building the roadway next, I think, just because that way I know how much space I have and everything, and I'll actually be able to, like, yeah, block everything off, and it will all go well, hopefully. Now, the other thing is, because this island is not going to be finished today, and I'm never going to have any of the other train stations in it, what I really want to do is finish this off down here, but stop it at the middle. So what we're going to do is we're going to build a big tunnel that goes all the way down to the middle section of this island, and it's going to sit here in the middle section, and then we're going to have it look like an earthquake or something has gone through, and it's blocked off all of the tunnel exits out over to the other direction. So basically I won't have anything down here other than this one section of track, and I think that's going to be okay. I hope that's going to look pretty good. So yeah, right now we've got a lot of block placing to do. We've got to get the roadway in first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place down a line of white down through the main block here, and I'm thinking the car positions are going to be about 3 wide because I have a technique that I want to try out using for the pedestrian footpaths, which might make the build just that little bit more interesting and make it actually look a little bit more like sidewalk. But we'll kind of talk about that once I actually get there and have some of that stuff in place and ready to go. Yeah, this end down here needs a bit more lighting work done in it, but once again, I'm not really going to worry too much about the lighting work until after I'm happy with all of the other stuff that is going on in this episode, because realistically, this is kind of, yeah, very close to the end of everything happening, and I really, really want to get some of the other small ideas that I have out of my brain and into the blocks, and just make sure that they're actually going to work. And yeah, check it out and see that things are going to behave the way I think they're going to behave when we go through and do this again in open beta. The road is coming along beautifully, and you can see just a small section of it here in front of me. Look at that. Look at that marvelous thing. Now, it is a little wider than I originally thought. I originally said 3 wide, and then I put down the strip in the middle and realized that that was going to make things a lot wider, so now it's 5 wide. That actually works really well because it means I can have a 2 wide footpath. Now this footpath is obviously not in the right spot. That's very wrong for a footpath. But the footpath is over here. So this is what the footpath is going to look like. It's actually made out of the large stone altar things. Now these ones down here have got purple stone in them just because I have like a crap load of crownstone chunks. And crownstone chunks only color the bottom section. They don't actually color anything on the top section. Which means that I can use them as part of my footpath, and they look fine. They look exactly the same as anything else. So that's what we're going to do for the footpath stuff. Now, we've also got a little bit of stuff down over here as well. So we're going to drop down into here. This is a little tunnel that's going to go down in underneath the road and come up on the other side. So I'm thinking that what we're actually going to do is we're going to have the staircase up is going to be kind of just this side of the footpath that I have laid down, and we're going to have some grey stuff around it just so that you've kind of got it like coming up out of the ground area. Probably going to keep it 1 block away so I don't go... Oh, actually I could probably put it right up against this. I just need to be careful of not having clipping through the walls with those little feet there. That's right, that should be fine to do. And then so we're going to have this one come this way up to the surface, and then if you go... Can you continue on through under the road? The other one is going to come this way up to the surface. Now, all of this stuff is actually looking really quite cool. So if we come up all the way up over here and take a look around, kind of built a little bit of a monstrous build. What have we got over here? It looks like we've got some cactus or something, so I probably should grab a hold of those. But yeah, check this thing out. Look, it's almost like a little bit of a monster right now. You've got like some pincers and some like weird kind of snaky parts at the back. It's all looking a little bit weird. It's all looking very tubular and stuff, which I think is quite cool. Yeah, so it would almost have been a shame to have placed a surface layer down on this because it would have meant that you couldn't see all of this stuff. But as I've said before, this place is not being saved, so it doesn't really matter. It's probably just going to stay a lot like this. I really do like the shape of all of the things that have occurred. And I mean, I haven't even really been looking at the tops of things. I've literally just been focusing on what they look like down inside, and that has kind of just dictated how the top and outside of these builds look. But yeah, this is going really, really well. I'm really happy with this right now. And yeah, we're going to keep going on the roadway because there's a few other little bits and pieces that are going to happen up there. Once that roadway is out a little bit, I'm also going to start building down further with the train tunnel. Get that to the point that I'm kind of sort of happy with it and ready to move on a little bit. And then, yeah, we're going to try and put down a building. Now, that could be a little bit ambitious, and we may not get it done. But you know what? That's what this is all about. We're going to be ambitious, and we're going to do some stuff before everything gets wiped. But for now, like I said, I need to collect up some more stuff. We've got 6 more of these guys to go down. And yeah, we're just going to keep on rolling on through this build because it's going pretty damn well so far, I have to say. And yeah, it's just a bit of a shame that it won't be kept. Oh, and there we go. I kind of got into a little bit of a building vibe and just kind of kept building. So now we've kind of covered up this area, and I've added in some light sources. I'm not sure if I like these guys or not, but they do kind of feel like they fit a little bit better in here. And then we've got these light sources up the top here. I need to cover this place over, but right now this roof here is 1 block under ground level, so that's just going to stay as it is right now. We've got Paige in the world with us as well, and they're just kind of wandering around and helping us out and talking about ideas and things. And yeah, so now we've got these little staircases going up to the surface level. We've also got these kind of nice little like barrier thingies that are sitting around here, and then they've got the little like open area that you actually come up, and that's got nice light sources on it. These light sources are probably going to be copy-pasted down the length of the road as well. And yeah, I think the next trick is actually going to be to start on the build that I want to do, the actual building build. Now, really not 100% sure where I'm going to build it or how big it's going to go, but that is something we need to work out pretty soon. I also need to work out what I'm doing about the ground level here, because kind of want to do something with this and actually like cover this over a little bit so that you actually get more of a sense of being on a road and just kind of standing around ready to have some stuff happen. So I think I'm going to go off now and have a look at a few like Google images and do some Google image searching and like wander up and down and yeah, see what I can see about this stuff. Just get a little bit of build inspiration. And then we'll come back over here and we'll start building a gigantic skyscraper. Okay, maybe not a gigantic skyscraper, but we'll build an office building of some kind. I just got to build something that I can fit into this episode. The building bug has really hit me quite hard today, so probably may have already seen the minimap, but a lot of work has been done. If we turn around, bam, here is our building, and this thing is coming together so quickly right now. And I am absolutely loving it. So we've got our little train station entrance popping up here. Then we've got a nice little like planter's box going around the edges and stuff like that. And then we've got this kind of double door that I've mocked together using some stuff that I've used before. I'll talk to Paige in just a second. And then yeah, we've got some windows going in here. So yeah, these windows are going to basically be the walls for this building as far as I have kind of had planned. So I may not actually be able to complete this. I don't have all of that many glass panes and stuff. I have a lot on down here in my lathe crafting up. So we've got 97 something coming out of there. But yeah, we're also going to have to craft up all the materials to get these things working. And right now I'm using all of my wood crafting space to craft up blocks to try and get this place down here done, because this is a lot of wood blocks, and I'm having to pretty much craft all of these because they're out of rarer materials as well. So that's making life a little bit more challenging, and it's probably going to mean that we're not going to get as much done of this building as I really wanted to in this episode. But I'm hoping to at least get a couple of levels on. So this is going to be like a big lobby type area, and it's going to be a couple of levels tall, and then the kind of stuff out in the wings. I'm not sure if I'm going to turn this into like a motel or if I'm going to turn it into an office space, but basically I'll work that out as I go through. I might not even turn it into anything. I may run out of time. I may just like put up some petitioning walls and stuff, and then that'll be it. That'll be us done for this episode. But for now, I think it's going quite well, and yeah, I'm really, really liking this. I'm probably going to have to end up doing lots of little cuts here as I kind of keep going through and adding down more floor, because this floor is going to take a little while to put down. There's lots of wood blocks going in here, and I don't really have a lot of wood, so I'm just like crafting everything up as I go through, which is a little bit time consuming, but that's okay. That's kind of, yeah. Just as long as I get this stuff finished, I will be perfectly happy with all of that. Anyway, it's starting to get a little bit dark, so I'm going to make a little bit of a cut here, and we'll come back when we've got more of the floor in place, and we've done a little bit more work on this here. So, those wood blocks took so long to do, and I'm basically changing my ideas, because this huge section down through here took a long time to craft stuff up, and yeah, it just took too much time, basically. So I'm actually going to change up my idea. We've got this nice little black border, and then we're going to swap from wood pieces to stone pieces in the other side. And I might even get Toffee Spark to give me a bit of a hand, just because this is going to take quite a long time to do. I've now had all those glass panes finished, and we're crafting up a whole bunch of windows down there, so there's quite a lot of those coming on through, which is going to be nice. We're going to be able to finish off the front of this building, hopefully. I'm actually kind of getting to a little bit of a time limit, because it's only a couple of hours now until Boomkin comes over here and does his stream. So things are a little bit, yeah, messy right now for me. But I'm going to keep pushing on through here. Just lots and lots of work on this flooring. And then once we've got the flooring in place, we'll talk about the rest of the build. Alright, so lots more work is going on. The floor has gone down, and more has gone down, the floor and more. So this over here, we're starting to block out some of the rooms on this lower level. So this over here, these are going to be training and kind of conference room type things. So this is going to get split up a little bit more than it is right now. And then this over here is going to be a really big like ballroom type thing, I think. This is actually 2 stories tall right now. So my story is actually going to be 3 blocks tall. So basically like this guy here is the top level, or like the floor space between the first level and the second level. Then I've got the second level up there, and yeah, that's going to be up at this point, and so they're actually going to be over here where I'm going to try and put something. I'm not quite sure what yet. Up over here, I might even actually put a balcony in over there. That sounds like it would be a cool idea to do. And then the spaces at the front, down the front over here, these are going to be like kind of janitor's closets, and also a big staircase going straight on up, because of course we're going to need some way of getting up inside this building, and that is going to be a big thing that we need to do. Yeah, so those are the plans right now. That's how all of this stuff is going. I'm kind of keeping these clips pretty short and doing lots and lots of work between them, because I'm realizing that this video is kind of getting a little bit long. But at the same time, I really want to get this done, or at least as much of this done as I possibly can before the end of the video and the end of the alpha, which of course is very soon. But anyway, I'm going to keep cracking on. This is the plan. This is how we're going. Like I said before, sorry if this is coming off a little bit quick, but I am kind of feeling the time crunch right now. Okay, so lots and lots of work has been done. Now, the reason that there's lots of stuff that's being done right now is because the stream has happened between the last cut and this one, and I really wanted to get the build as close as I possibly could to quote-unquote finished before we had the stream come through, so I kind of just stopped doing anything other than building. So if we turn around and have a quick look at this place, bam, it's just so much work has been put in, so many more windows have gone down, and so many more blocks have gone down. So let's go jump down to the base down here and have a look at this thing as you would if you were walking in through the front door. So we've got like nice little raised areas that you've seen before. Open the doors, and we've got like a nice corridor area with a reception desk. This was going to have a roof on top of it. This is just the first level. off over to the left here, we've got kind of like a ballroom type thing. So we've got some chandeliers up the top. We've got these like candelabra things around the base, and I really like those. Those are good. Like these are a really, really cool decor item, and I really wish that these had been in the game earlier because I've had some builds that needed these before, but I haven't been able to use them. But yeah, so this guy is pretty good. There's just a tiny little reception desk that Toffee Spark is showing off for us right now, which is really cool. And then down in here, we actually have a little training room. So we've got 2 of these rooms, but that one there is not finished. There's nothing really in here. And, oh, I've trapped myself in the room. Over this side, this is the finished training room. So you've got like a nice little stand up on the thing, and you've got a whole bunch of seating in here, and you can like sit down and watch a little whatever. That's also kind of just been shown off in the stream. And yeah, so that's this place up here. There's actually not a lot to it, despite the fact that this has taken a very long time to complete and a lot of blocks and a lot of stone to get going. Personally, I love the roadway. I still love the roadway, and I'm going to keep building like this. Copped a little bit of flack in the stream for having these altars as a pathway, but I am not going to apologize. They look awesome, and I'm definitely going to keep doing that. So right now, what I really want to do is I just want to walk through this place and kind of show this off and just, yeah, have a last little wander through this place because I love this build. It is probably one of my favorite ever builds in a SkySaga Alpha that I've ever done. And that is including the volcano and my temple and all sorts of stuff that I've done in the past. So, yeah, this place, it's just, the stuff that I've done kind of, it's unexpected, realistically. From my perspective anyway, I've just kind of been trying stuff out and seeing what works and seeing if I can do a modern build, and being able to do a modern build to this level has been really great fun, and it's, like I said, it's been just a little bit surprising, and I think it speaks a lot to SkySaga as a game because all of the tools are here. Like you can do this, and all of the decor items are just really adaptable, and you can do pretty much anything you like with them. So anyway, I'm actually going to pull my HUD off, and we're going to go for a bit of a fly around this place, and then that is going to be it, I think, for this alpha, because we are getting very, very close to the end. Very soon, the embargo is going to be lifted for Alpha 8. I think I said Alpha 7 earlier, but yeah, I meant Alpha... Well, I did mean, yes, Alpha 7. So yeah, the embargo is going to be lifted for Alpha 8 soon, which means I'm going to start putting up some Alpha 8 content. That will probably happen after the weekend, so that's going to be really cool. Stay tuned for that. But yeah, check this build out. This is just... I really wish I had another month to complete this thing, but it's been good fun. Anyway, in Alpha 8, we have some really, really big plans, and we're not going to be doing the modern style build. Just so you know, because I've done this now, or I've had a bit of a go at this now, I'm going to leave this until such a time as we hit beta, so there's not going to be too many more wipes, and I'll actually have a lot more time to build something like this. But yeah, no, next alpha I have... So far I've got 2 very big plans, and I'm also, of course, going to go through and do some community games. This time around, I'm actually going to get some VIPs to help me out with that stuff. So yeah, hopefully we'll actually be able to get the community games up and running and going, because I've been building them alpha after alpha and not really using them too much, but hopefully this time round we are going to use them. But yes, so this is it. This is the sad goodbye, the very, very last shot that we see in SkySaga Alpha 7. As the sun sets behind me over this beautiful build, it is time to say goodbye. I hope you guys have enjoyed that. I hope you guys have enjoyed the Alpha 7 stuff that I've been doing. And I will see you over in Alpha 8, and I am really, really excited for that.